Let me tell you about someone who reminds me of so many people I've met over the years. Her name is Elena. She's originally from Milan, and she's an architect, smart, creative, curious. When she moved to Dublin for a new job opportunity, she felt excited but also a little nervous about using English every day. Still, she had studied English for years. She had passed exams, read books, watched movies. She believed she was ready. And in many ways, she was. Her first few weeks in Dublin went smoothly. She managed work emails, ordered food, introduced herself to new colleagues. She even joined a small yoga class taught in English. Everything felt under control. Until one morning, standing in a crowded subway station, something changed. An announcement came over the speakers. Elena listened, trying to understand. But the words felt like water, rushing, blending, impossible to hold on to. She caught a few sounds, maybe a name or two, but not the meaning. She looked around, confused, hoping others would react. They did. People began moving quickly toward a different platform. Elena hesitated, unsure if she should follow. It was a small moment, but for her, it was huge. Not being able to understand a simple public announcement made her question everything. How could she have studied English for so long and still feel lost when someone spoke quickly? Why could she read just fine but not follow a voice on a speaker? That moment stayed with her the whole day, and the next. She told herself, I have to fix this, but I don't know how. She didn't want to go back to grammar textbooks or spend hours in a classroom again. What she really wanted was to feel connected, to listen to English the way she listened to her own language. So she made a decision. A simple one. Every morning during breakfast, she would listen to something in English. Just 10 minutes. Nothing too hard. She started with a podcast about architecture, then moved to interviews, short news clips, and sometimes even storytelling episodes. She didn't try to understand everything. She didn't take notes. She just listened. At first, she still felt lost. The speed, the accent, the expressions, they didn't make sense right away. But she kept going. 10 minutes every day without skipping. And then something started to shift. One morning, she recognized a phrase she had heard the day before. Another morning, she noticed a pattern. How speakers paused between ideas. How their voices rose and fell with emotion. A few days later, she caught an entire sentence. Without translating, without guessing. It just clicked. By the end of her second week, something surprising happened. She was walking to the subway when she heard another announcement. This time, she didn't panic. She didn't freeze. The message came through clearly. There would be a 5-minute delay on line 2 due to technical issues. She understood every word. She smiled, almost in disbelief. It felt like magic, but it wasn't magic at all. It was training. 10 minutes a day. That's what did it. Elena didn't become fluent overnight. She didn't suddenly understand every movie or song, but what she did gain was something even more powerful. Momentum. She proved to herself that listening is a skill, not a talent. And like any skill, it grows with practice. She didn't need to be perfect. She just needed to be consistent. I share Elena's story because maybe you felt the same way. Maybe you've had moments where English seemed familiar until someone spoke too fast or used an accent you weren't used to. And maybe you told yourself that listening is the hardest part of English. But I want you to see what Elena discovered. Your brain is ready to learn, but it needs daily sound, not long lessons, not complicated methods, just regular, gentle contact with real English. Elena didn't wait for the perfect moment to start. She didn't make a big plan. She chose a small action and repeated it. And that's the secret. We often think progress comes from big changes, but in language learning, it's usually the opposite. Small routines build big breakthroughs. I also want you to notice what Elena didn't do. She didn't stop to translate. She didn't try to memorize vocabulary. She didn't get frustrated when she didn't understand. Instead, she listened with patience. She let the language flow around her. And slowly, her brain started to respond. There's a difference between hearing and listening. Hearing is passive. It just happens. But listening is active. It's a choice. Elena chose to listen every day, even when it was uncomfortable. And that choice made all the difference. You can do the same. Whether it's while you make your coffee, walk to work, or wait for the bus, Those small pockets of time are perfect for growing your listening. Don't worry about understanding everything. Don't worry about speed. Just show up. Your brain will handle the rest. And remember, you don't need hours. You need habits. Elena didn't need to study for 3 hours every night. She needed 10 minutes of focus. That was enough to change how she experienced English and how she saw herself as a speaker. So if you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or unsure where to start, think of Elena. Think of that moment in the subway. Think of how one small choice, made again and again, led to a quiet but powerful breakthrough. That kind of progress is possible for you too. Let's take a few minutes now to look ahead at what the next 7 days will look like. If you've ever felt unsure about how to organize your practice or wondered if you're even doing the right things to improve, this part is for you.